found that during lunchtime, humihina yung traffic. Why? Kasi pati yung yung mga, ang tawag dito, pati yung mga parliamentary, members of parliament were actually stopping to watch the teleserye of, what's his name? Pangako sa'yo. Yeah, pangako sa'yo. Tandaan niyo pa. So, kumbaga, kung pwede siguro, ay talagang pwedeng magkaroon tayo ng tweaking at streamlining at tingnan natin kung saan talaga tayo magbibigay ng emphasis.
Yeah, but that's another dimension of my question, which is really why should we be exporting this kind of labor, which is low-wage labor, being caregivers for the elderly and both ends of the demographics, when we can in fact be exporting engineers, doctors, medical personnel, and the like, and give it to other countries with less competent people to do the caregiving work, which for most parts, based on the reports coming to us, are those who are more likely to be maltreated in their places of work. So that's why I said, with the advances in technology, in communication, you don't need to establish an embassy or a consulate wherever Filipinos are. Like in the United States, how many consulates do you have there when you only need one at Washington, D.C.? I mean, how many consulates renew passports and get people to pledge to be Philippine citizens again? This is what I mean. The bureaucratic reform needs to start somewhere, and I think the DFA should be a good start.
Well, well taken. Very well taken. Noted and well taken. Thank you.
Secretary Abella, so my question is about foreign policy. I think you expect this. As I understand, you will continue the foreign policy line of President Duterte expressed in this very elegant statement: friends to all, enemies to none. And this reminds me of the foreign policy of the United States for most of its history, like from its founding. It was neutral in any wars in Europe, and it only got involved and took a position in world wars during the First World War. Now my question is, because I've seen that you voted to be neutral in the Ukraine-Russia conflict in one of the presidential debates. So my question is, do you see any link between a country's policy position in these kinds of conflict and its internal development?
Okay.
Kasi, I would like to link this to your idea of magpalakas tayo ng loob.
Tama.
So do you see any link between these two?
Una-una, although I said neutral, tandaan natin we nag-sign tayo do sa UNGA. We signed the UNGA statement condemning the violence. But if you read the statement, and I'm sure you did, it condemned the violence, but it did not condemn any aggressor, which I thought was brilliant. It was brilliant. You can do something like this and still wala kang kinakalaban. I believe at a certain stage, tulad ng habang nagpapalakas tayo, dapat marunong tayong gumawa. Ganun ang dapat na lakad natin. Na we're not pushovers. But we can actually